I think that's the first time that I've been introduced as grandmother. And it's true. So, in fact, my little grandson, Frederick, was born on Robert's birthday, November 4th. So. Is it brighter? Yeah. I want to read a poem when Robert passed away on March 9th, 1989. I had to write a poem for his memorial booklet, and I've subsequently written many things since, but this was the first poem that I wrote for him. And it's called Reflecting Robert. Blessedness is within us all. It lies upon the long scaffold, patrols the vaporous hall. In our pursuits, though still, we venture forth, hoping to grasp a handful of cloud and return, unscathed, cloud in hand. We encounter space, fist, violin, or this, an immaculate face of a boy, somewhat wild, smiling in sun. He raises his hand as if in carefree salute, shading eyes that contain the threat of God. Soon they will gather power, disenchantment. They will reflect enlightenment, agony. They will reveal the process of love. They will, in an hour alone, shed tears. His mouth is circlet, a baptismal font, opening wide as the lips of a damsel, sounding the dizzying extremes, the relativity of vain, the hip of unrest. For the sake of wing there is shoulder, for symmetry there is blade. He kneels, humiliates, he pierces her side, offering spleen to the wolves of the forest. He races across the tiles, the human board, virility, coquetry all again, well played. Immersed in luminous disgrace, he lifts as a slave, a nymph, a fabulous hood, as a rose, a thief of life. He will parade nude, crowned with leaves, immortal. He will sing of the body, his truth. He will increase the shining neck, pluck airs toward our delight of the waning, the blossoming, the violent charade. But who will sing of him? Who will sing of his blessedness, the blameless eye, the radiant grin? For he, his own messenger, is gone. He has leapt through the Orphic glass to wander eternally in search of perfection, his blue ankles tattooed with stars. Thank you. This is the catalog for the archive, and I wrote a piece in it. I wanted to read something. It's a big old thing, but I try not to drop it on my foot. On the afternoon of July 3rd, 1967, I stood over a sleeping boy who awoke and smiled at me. I have told this story many times. It is how I met Robert Mapplethorpe. I had left home for New York City with a little plaid suitcase and had nowhere to stay. I met him quite by accident as I sought shelter in the former apartment of some mutual friends. He guided me on foot to their new place. They were gone for the holiday, so I slept on their stoop on an empty Brooklyn street. When I awoke, it was Independence Day, and I still had nowhere to go. However, that morning I was not thinking about that. I was thinking about Robert, though at the time I didn't even know his name. On the 4th of July, I took the subway to Manhattan and roamed around the city, wondering if our paths would cross again. Providence was kind, and we did accidentally meet. We walked the streets of the Lower East Side, talking for hours. Robert was funny, gentle, and a sympathetic listener. That night we went back to Brooklyn, to the same flat where I had found him sleeping. Robert slid 2 large black portfolios from beneath his bed. We sat on the floor and he showed me his work. Delicate drawings, many resulting from his visionary experiences while on LSD. One of them he laid before me. It was spidery images. One by one, he laid them before me. Spidery images, intertwining words, a budding tree and a budding twig transformed as a bird, an etching of a flower's blooming face, disembodied insects, and mandalas composed of a mystical calligraphy. His works had their roots and their references, echoing artists from Redon to Michaud to Posé d'Art, yet they were wholly and totally unique. As dawn approached, we fell asleep together, the floor covered with his drawings. In the weeks to come, we became inseparable. Robert searched for living quarters for us. We created an environment that reflected our common aesthetic, using furniture and found objects left on the Brooklyn streets on trash night. Having little money, we lived simply but happily. We both drew side by side all night long, using the same pencil sharpeners and the same colored pencils.